attacking a fully maxed Town Hall 16 as a Town Hall 15. Not once, not twice, but yes, 3 different times. Let's check them all out. Alright, and first up is going to be none other than the Super Archer Clone blimp, following that up with the Root Riders and Healers. So first, starting off with this blimp, as you can see, this is pretty much going to be the most common angle, landing that right on top of the Eagle Artillery as you see there. And as you can see, it's really not many giant bombs, potential spaces, so that's why that blimp landing there is going to be pretty much ideal. And as you can take a look and check that value out, it is essentially clearing out this entire core. It took out that 2 Infernos, it's taking out a Scatter right now, Expo, Ricochet Cannon, and of course getting that CC Ice Golem out of the way into that corner. So we're going to essentially send the Root Riders pretty much anywhere at this point, because the Super Archer blimp took out way more than half of the base right there. So this, again, you can pretty much follow that up with any angle Root Rider entry point, because either way you're going, it's going to be this simple L shape regardless of where you're going to enter with the Root Riders. And yeah, so as a Town Hall 15, this is probably going to be, if you're ever having to hit a Town Hall 16, this is probably going to be one of the most common armies used, because it's probably the most efficient and the easiest to execute and manage in terms of the army itself. So the Queen's at the top. Already got this free minion, because this minion wizard is going to be able to clear that entire 9 to 8 o'clock side. We are going to go ahead and send the Root Riders, the Barbarian King, and you can see how much work these Root Riders are going to do, despite that they're actually level 2 wise as well. So we're actually going to incorporate additional Root Rider on that 3 o'clock side, just to potentially keep everything in this L shape and to patch that multi and to swing along through the rest of the base. Honestly, you probably don't even need the RC, but for time's sake, we are just going to use it, because these Root Riders, Barbarian King, and Healers are just going to be enough to clear the rest of the base themselves. So yep, working around this base, this is just going to be overwhelming it, because after that Super Archer value, there's just no shot this isn't going to fail. Whether you're doing a Lalo or Super Barbarians, this would have been able to work as well, regardless of what army composition, because of the Super Archer value and its value, given that it's taken out the entire core of that base. So now, after the first one, let's check the next one. Next up we have is the Skelly Donut Root Riders on this specific base. Now, first thing is we're going to start off with the Fling Flinger there and immediately drop the Skelly Donut. This is, however, going to be a quad Skelly Donut. Now, to actually manage and pull this Skelly Donut off, I did recently make a video, essentially a guide to how to execute and manage a Skelly Donut. So make sure you guys check that out if you have not. We'll go ahead and link that on the bottom in the descriptions there for you guys if you have not seen that yet. So moving along here, we are going to Sui the Queen for the Town Hall. As you can basically take a look at this, there is no damage behind the Town Hall after we get this Town Hall down, because we were able to Skelly the CC, the Monolith, the Eagle, and of course that multi-Inferno. So with that Fling Flinger down there towards 6 o'clock is basically carving out a funnel so that I can essentially send the Root Riders into the RC. So Queen locks the Town Hall down. The Fling Flinger is currently working down at 6 o'clock, and as you can take a look now, it is pretty much a straight pathing from this RC compartment, and then the Root Riders are going to be able to move through that core with this Warden ability and this early rage. I'm going to rage these Headhunters in this Warden ability, and this serves a good purpose because it activates this back end rage for me and kind of takes some damage off of this Queen for me, so that when these Root Riders, by the time they get all the way back to the scatter, they are not going to be taking as much damage from those Expo and that scatter shot, because that rage is already pre-triggered. So that right there was a really great call, and again, having the additional 2 Root Riders in that CC Fling Flinger is going to support this push. And now I'm going to incorporate the Ice Golem and the Barbarian King to take that scatter shot on the back end. And as you can take a look, Queen's still alive, RC still alive, Hammer Freeze intact, and of course this does look pretty good and goes to show the power and the strength of these Root Riders regardless of the levels they are. So yep, a really super duper nice attack here on a fully maxed out Town Hall 16. And again, I will say it just goes to show the power and strength of these Root Riders regardless of those levels. So really nice attack. Now that we've actually taken a look at 2 attacks on a max health 16 with Root Riders, let's move on to the last replay highlighting without the Root Riders in it. All right, and last up, what we do have is the Zap Titans instead. Now, we aren't going to necessarily Super Archer blimp this one. However, I do think the Super Archers can clear out this almost entire of the core, actually. So instead, we are going to start with the Warden Walk towards the 11 for that early funnel. I am going to do a Fling Flinger at 6, implementing both of those balloons onto each of those mortars to essentially carve out this funnel so that everything, ideally what I want to do is send it into this Archer Tower right there with the Barbarian King. So that's essentially why I wanted to use a Flame Flinger at 6 and to invest a little bit more on this funnel from 8 to 9 side, just so that my Barbarian King can go inside of the base. So we are going to try to get everything into the core with this approach without using the Root Riders, because you can really basically wall breaker in there. Additionally, we are going to use a jump here just because there is not necessarily great value with the jump. Instead, we are taking additional Skelly spell and a free spell to support this push so that these Root Riders and the King and Titans can all work together through this core. Now, since Ice Golems actually came out of the CC, we are going to, however, have to invest this RC super early for that single Inferno, because the nothing is actually taking that single, and that single was picking off these Titans left and right. So using that ward ability now was the best ideal time, just because after this Town Hall poison goes off, I was able to keep every single one of those barbs up, and they were able to pull up almost every single one of those traps in the core. So we still do have like one Titan there. The Phoenix is now going off. RC ability still intact. Queen ability still intact there. And we do have the Flame Flinger on this bottom side still rolling. So yes, this goes to show a little bit how Zap Titans can be still used at Town Hall 16 with the max heroes, pets, and of course with those hero equipment, as well as I only had, I think, just that Rage Gem on the Water Walk to speed it up just a little bit. So now the siege is popping open for cleanup. However, I do have Root Riders. They aren't necessarily going to do anything or too much here at this point because of this late stage of the attack. So we are going to wrap this up with, yes, a really nice triple with the Zap Titans. So yep, that will do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this. Additionally, go ahead and comment down below which one of these replays were your favorite. But until next time, guys, Ghost out.